Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is Michael Moshik and welcome to Michael's Corner of Sports. I get it, it's pretty corny. See what I did? Okay. Today we're going to be talking about what this channel is going to be about, what some of my favorite teams and players are, and also I will be talking about different topics of future videos. So I'll give you a little bit of what this channel, you'll see from this channel coming up. Before we get into the video, I would like to beg you personally for a like on the video and for you to subscribe to this channel. Yes, I'm gonna beg because I need likes and stuff. Please? I know it doesn't take very much to go scroll down and hit that like button or subscribe. I know you don't want to do it, but please? I started this sports channel because I typically bore people to death with how much I talk about sports. I love sports so much, especially basketball and football. Those are my two favorite, if you didn't catch the vibe. I usually bore people to death because I have so much to talk about. So I started this channel because I can reach out to more people and bore them to death. Sounds like a win for me. No, I started this channel because I am tired of wasting my time on YouTube watching different clickbait videos from like First Take and all those other debate shows. They catch you with that catchy title, and I really want to watch that video, but when I click on it, it's always the same thing, that ugly banter and shouting back and forth, and they never hit on the topic that I want to watch, and it's so hard to watch that. So the goal for this channel is to not be that. I will not shout to myself and debate with myself, but I'm just talking as in like the talk shows, Colin Cowherd, you know. I will not be biased, even though I do have my favorite teams. I'll get into them in a second. But yeah, this channel is going to be different, and I really hope you stick around and drop some comments. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me why my teams suck, why the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead. I expect those in the comments, so give them to me. Give them to me. So let's get into my two favorite teams. Clearly, you can tell, Warriors and Colts. Start with the Warriors because you're probably thinking I'm a bandwagon. I would have to disagree with you. Here's why. Back in 2010, it was the Lakers and Celtics in the finals. I didn't really watch much basketball. I was more of an NFL guy. I love my Colts ever since 2006. But I didn't have an NBA team that I really loved. I liked the Lakers, but that was because my best friend at the time, he was a huge Celtics fan, and I loved rooting against his team. So I just became a Lakers fan from that. But I was never a true Lakers fan. So I never had an actual NBA team until the 2014-15 season, when the Warriors were in the middle of their championship run. They weren't quite a champion yet, so I didn't like jump on the bandwagon as they were winning it or anything. It was during the postseason, and I liked their style of play. I liked watching it. The NBA felt new and fresh for once. It wasn't the same thing over and over again. So I started to follow the Warriors, and I enjoyed watching them. I was glad they won the championship, and from there on, I became a huge fan. Maybe a super fan, but I'm not a bandwagon. So I expect you to still put the bandwagon and 3-1 jokes in the comment, but whatever, go ahead, do you. But I am not a bandwagon, so do not worry about that. Colts, on the other hand, I was, what was I? 8 years old when they won the Super Bowl. After they won the Super Bowl, I didn't have a team before that. After the Super Bowl, I followed the Colts, and I loved those amazing years with the Peyton Manning, Dallas Clark, Bob Sanders, Joseph Adai, Jeff Saturday. There's so many great players from those years, and I just loved watching the Colts then. Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, not even to mention for some reason. They were such a fun team to watch, and from there I just grew up loving the Colts and football with it. So I've continued to follow the Colts throughout all those years. And yes, I know Andrew Luck is retired. I know our championship run is it's a little bit it's iffy right now with Jacoby Brissett, but I respect Andrew Luck. I do, and his whole decision to retire. I'm disappointed personally because it was 2 weeks before the season, it wasn't earlier, but I understand where he's coming from. Our previous GM, Ryan Grigson, ruined his career by not giving him an offensive line or the right players around him, and Chris Ballard, a new GM, came just a few years too late. But I respect Andrew Luck and his decision to retire. Disappointed, of course, because it was our Super Bowl run. We were going to do it this year, I thought, but it's all right. Jacoby Brissett's a really good starter, and we're still a playoff team for sure. As for my favorite players, I'll start with the Warriors. Steph, obviously, is one of my favorites, but I really like Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is really fun to follow. He's the most unique player in the league, and he can get hot, even hotter than Steph when he's on fire. So Steph and Klay are my two favorites, the Splash Brothers, of course. I still really like Draymond Green. A lot of people think I hate on Draymond Green. I don't. I love the energy he brings every single game. I don't hate Kevin Durant for leaving. He had a right to leave. He could have. He was a free agent, and he had some good years here. And I like Kevin Durant. He's not a snake. He's not a cupcake. I respect KD for sure. Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, those boys, I really like them. Yeah, those were some good teams. But we're not done yet. The Warriors are not dead. Dynasty's still alive, and I'll talk about that in later videos too. As for my favorite players for the Colts, I hit on some of them earlier, the Peyton Manning, Jeff Saturday, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, Bob Sanders, Marvin Harrison, all those guys. Those are some of my favorite players ever, Peyton Manning being number one, of course. As for the new look Colts, I still like Andrew Luck, even though he's not there anymore. I really like T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton is one of my favorites. Quentin Nelson. I don't know if you can have a favorite player being an offensive lineman, but it's possible. I love Quentin Nelson. He's so funny, and he's such a great player. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the league, maybe the best guard in the league. I love Quentin Nelson, Darius Leonard, and Marlon Mack. Those are some of my favorites this year. And yeah, Colts are a fun team this year. They're not dead. They're still a playoff team, and yeah, they'll make some noise in the playoffs. So those are my favorite teams and players. Now the video is almost done. I'm just going to go over the different topics that I plan on talking about in the future, because I'm giving you more of a reason to subscribe to me and to like this video, please. So I'm going to go over some video topics that I'm going to be talking about in future videos. I'm going to talk about the GOAT discussion, of course. Like that's a given. Everyone has an opinion on who the GOAT of the NBA is. So I'll give my opinion on that in a future video. I'll talk about the NBA season preview. Even though it's already into the season, I'm going to still talk about my early thoughts and every takeaways from the season so far. I'm going to rank the best players at each position in the current NBA and the GOATs for each position. That'll be a fun video all in one. I'm going to talk about who can actually win it this year, who are the actual contenders versus pretenders. I'm going to talk about is tanking actually worth it. I have a lot to talk about on that one. That'll be a fun video. I will talk about how dynasties are great for the league. They are really good for the league, and not just because Warriors, but I really think they are. I'll go over the whole video on that. And my favorite, the GOAT pyramid. I'm really excited to make that GOAT pyramid, and I'll explain what it means by all that in a separate video, but that's going to be a really fun, might even be a couple of videos because I have a lot to talk about with that. And then for the NFL, at some point I want to, once this channel takes off, I hope it does, please like my videos and subscribe to me, please, so we can get this going. Once this channel takes off, I plan on making a week-by-week preview or review for the NFL season. I can't do that right now with my schedule and everything, but for next season, hopefully, by the time this channel takes off, I will be able to go every single Sunday night, post a video on how the week went, and go over everything that happened in the week. So that's only if this channel takes off, and I know it will because I'm asking nicely. I will be going over my playoff projections. I'll be talking about who's the MVP frontrunner. I'll go over who's the best player at each position, the GOAT at each position. I'll be going over Super Bowl contenders versus pretenders. I will spend a lot of videos on the NFL draft. I am a huge fan of the NFL draft. One time I made an NFL draft scout notebook that was like 30 pages long, and it was going over like the top 50 players in the draft, and it was a lot of work. This was back when I was a sophomore in high school or something. I made this whole report just for fun. So I love the NFL draft and scouting. So I'll go over videos with that. Go over videos of fantasy football. I'll show you how I turned a decent team into one of my best teams ever in fantasy football, and I'll show you different tactics of how I pull off trades and other stuff. So I'm really excited. There's a lot to get to, and I hope you stick around with those. I will need some more topics, so if you wanted to drop a comment, let me know what you want me to talk about, and I will talk about it in a future video, hopefully. Overall, I am really excited for this channel to take off. The goal for this channel is to be very authentic, and not to be, even though I am going off a script right now, I don't want it to sound scripted or it to be someone else's script. This is my script, so this is me talking. Don't worry, it's not someone else making up what I'm gonna say today. But yeah, the goal is to be as authentic and as geared towards the viewer as possible. So please drop those comments. I will read them, and I will respond to a lot of them. So please drop those comments, and yeah. I'd like to say one final thank you. Thank you for sticking through this video. I mean, it was probably a rough one with the quality of sound. My voice is garbage, and the lighting is probably really bad. So thank you for sticking with me through this video, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Peace.